last leaves are out of the tree. As you can see, we've gathered up quite a pile. That's one of the chores we're going to get on with today. I'm not going to film myself loading the barrow and unloading it into the leaf mould bin. You've seen that once or twice before. There's a few other jobs to be done, including, once again, we're going to have to hand weed the leaves in the leek and onion beds. When I was a nipper watching my parents out the bedroom window gardening, I couldn't really see what it was all about. I never envisaged I'd find myself enjoying a bit of weeding by hand, but I've got to say it's quite therapeutic. Therapeutic it might be. It's nice to see it nice and weed free, which not only helps the leeks but means I've got less work to do next year. But unfortunately it doesn't warm me up that much, so I'm going to start digging that path that I promised to get going last week. We've been plagued since we had this plot with the couch grass. What I'm trying to do is get a fair bit of it out, and then we'll just let the weather bring the bed back down to the path back down to a normal level, and then next year we'll start preparing it, put some membrane on it, etc., and get it up to the same standard as one of the side paths that we showed you recently. So it's back to digging and getting rid of all this couch grass. That's the first section dug. Normally at this time I'll be having a nice hot drink, but it's got to be a cold drink after the digging, even in these temperatures. What I'm going to do now is use the board to compact it a little bit so that we can walk on it without picking too much of it back up onto our boots. So let's just lower it down. Pleased to say, even at this time of year, we're still taking crops out the ground. Got some of these stubby little carrots coming out. Once they're washed and scraped, they'll be in the pot tomorrow with the dinner. I'm going to take some of the sprouts, the Reuben ones. I've not had them before. What I want to do is try them and see if they're any good, because if they're not, it's going to be too late on Christmas morning when I pick them to find out. Got to say, some of them are slightly bigger than others. There was quite a sharp frost a few days ago before the downpour, but it doesn't seem to have affected the spring cabbages. They look as if they're going to survive at the moment, so that's quite pleasing. Clearly the cloche is doing the job with the lettuces, as they're surviving quite nicely as well. Time to give them another watering. The council have finally turned the tap off and we're just getting the last remnants out of there, and it'll be rainwater after that. Nice healthy crop of these sprouts, so we'll pick them from the bottom. We'll have a few off of each plant. Not one of the Reuben sprouts. Red cabbage, absolutely rock solid, so taking that home as well. Well, loads more digging to be done. I've got to keep going on with that path. One thing that does need sorted out is it's time to get the old bulbs in the ground. What I'm going to do is give up the path alongside the front of the shed and use that as more of a flower bed for the season ahead. One path turned over to nature. I have to sort out what's going in where. That frost the other day has finished off these flowers in the herb bed. We'll get that sorted out and hopefully have something to show you next week.